Hello everybody, I am Sakshi from YouTube channel Study with Sakshi GAUr. So in this particular video, we are going to know about the chapter 5 of grade 9th, which is the fundamental unit of life. So let us read about it without any of the time wastage. So let us start our video and our chapter. While examining thin slice of cork, Robert Hooke saw that the cork resembled the structure of honeycomb, consisting of little compartments. Cork is a substance which comes from a bark of a tree. This was in year 1665. Robert Hooke made this chance observation through a self-designed microscope. Robert Hooke called these small boxes cells. Cells is a Latin word which means little rooms. So let me tell you this paragraph meaning. Yes, here it is. In the year 1665, one scientist, Robert Hooke observed a cork. Cork is a part of a bark of a tree. He observed cork under a microscope that he made it himself. He observed the cork under the microscope that he made it himself. Okay, that he made it himself. He resembled the cork with structures similarly that structures with honeycomb. Honeycomb, there are little compartments in the honeycomb that are separated from each other with a simple membrane. So he observed these type structures which he called celluli. This is not given in NCERT, but he called them celluli. Singular, cellula. It was celluli for the plural and cellula for the singular. But later on we call them cells for plural and cell for singular, which means little room. So this is, I am making the structure again. This is like a little room which have a one nucleus in it. I think this is like a little room, obviously. Yes, it is like a little room. So this may seem to be a very, very small incident, but this was the very first time that someone had observed that living things appear to consist of separate units. The word use of cell describe these units and ultimate this day of biology. So let us find out about cells. So in this paragraph, the meaning of this paragraph is, so in the it seemed to be a very small incident. But it is a very big incident, very important incident in the life of biology and science. None of the scientists ever thought about the living organisms are made up of little compartments. So let us read about cells in depth. So what are living organisms made up of? So living organisms are made up of what? So let us observe this. So if you want to read the activity, you can read, but I am not reading it. So you can see the image of this compound microscope. If you don't know, this image is of your compound microscope. So here is your eyepiece, coarse adjustment, fine adjustment, arm, objective lens, stage, swivel, mirror, base, body tube, clip, microscopic slide, and condenser. So it is all about your compound microscope. So I hope it is clear to you. So let me tell you about the activity. I am not reading it, but I know what is the activity. We have 1 minute. Let me take a white sheet to display. Yes, we are taking an onion bulb. We are taking a thin slice of onion bulb and staining it with methylene blue solution and or iodine solution. Then we are seeing it under the microscope. We are obtaining this structure. 1 minute, so sorry. We are obtaining this structure. I hope you can see the structure carefully. So we are obtaining this structure from so when we see it under a microscope, we obtained this structure and it was like really different structure. So these structures are nothing but cells. So it is proved that onions are also made up of cells. So what are these structures? Tell me about this. What are these structures? These structures look similar to each other. Together they form a big structure like an onion bulb. We found from this activity that onion bulbs of different sizes have similar structures visible under the microscope. The cells of onion peel with all look same regardless of the size of onion they come from. So let me tell you the meaning of this. Meaning is very easy. That every onion is made up of similar these structures that I made them earlier. I have these structures. 1 minute. These structures, all onions are made up of these structures. They have, and these structures combine to form a big structure like onion bulb. So the cells combine to form a onion bulb, a big onion bulb. So I hope it is clear. So if a big onion bulb, this is a big onion bulb. A big onion bulb and a small onion bulb. Would they have same type of cells? Like big onion bulb have big cells, then small onion bulb? It is not possible. It is not dependable on the type of their size, that big onion bulb have a big cell and small onion bulb have a small cell. Big onion bulb have many cells. Like if big onion bulb have 10, small onion bulb have 10,000 cells, the big may contain 20,000. So it is dependable on the number of the cells. If more numbers are there, big onion bulb will make. If a small. So I hope it's clear. These small structures that we see are the basic buildings of onion bulb. These structures are called as cells. Not only onions, but all organisms that we observe around us are made up of cells. However, there are single cells that live on their own. So I hope this is very easy. So I hope you can understand it. So now we are going to know about the discovery of cells. So let us start with our discovery of cells. So are you all ready? So let us start with discovery of cells. So start. So let us start. Firstly, we take a white space to learn it. So let me type the first. In 1665, wait a minute. In 1665, one scientist came who was Sir Robert Hooke. In 1665 year, so let me underline the year. Scientist came who was Sir Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke. He discovered and named cell. He discovered and named cell in 1665 from Cork. So after Robert Hooke in 1664, in 1674, Sir Antoine Leeuwenhoek I hope it is yes. Sir Antoine Leeuwenhoek, who was a Dutch scientist, he observed the first living cell. With the improved microscope. So here is the main point. Robert Hooke observed it from a very not improved microscope, but Antoine Leeuwenhoek observed it from an improved microscope, by which he can see the parts of the cell carefully. After Sir Antoine Leeuwenhoek, scientist came who was Robert Brown in 1831. Robert Brown in 1631. He discovered, listen carefully, don't be confused here. He discovered and named the nucleus in a cell. I hope you know about the nucleus in a cell. If you didn't know, let me tell you about the nucleus, because it was in class standard 8. So I have this structure of the cell. So let me draw the nucleus. Firstly, the cell, big structure. Here it is. So this is like a cell, and I have this structure here. This purple color structure is your nucleus, and this yellow, I am coloring it very, very carefully. So I have this yellow colored part. So let me write also. This is nucleus. This is cytoplasm. This is cell membrane. Cell membrane. So I hope it is clear to you all. After Robert Brown, next scientist came, who was J.E. Purkinje. J.E. Purkinje. J.E. Purkinje in 1839. He termed the protoplasm. Protoplasm, I hope you know about it. Protoplasm is the living part of the cell. Living part. Okay. Protoplasm is the living part of the cell. After J.E. Purkinje, cell theory was proposed. Cell theory was proposed. So cell theory. So let us read about the cell theory. Cell theory was proposed by two German scientists, German botanist, who was Squelden and Swan. Squelden, who was a botanist, he proposed it in 1838, and Swan, I am writing it with purple colored, Swan proposed it in 1839, and both of them told that first, cells is the structural and functional unit of the all organism. So after the cell theory, in 1855, Rudolf Virchow, it is not Robert Brown, it is Rudolf Virchow. Let me write it here. Rudolf Virchow stated that new cells arise from pre-existing cells. New cells arise from pre-existing cells. So it is all about the history of the cells. So let me tell you about the cell theory wala part. Cell theory in detail. So according to cell theory, 3 activities are there. Firstly, bodies of living organisms are made up of cells and their products. Second wala, activities of an organism is the sum of total activities that is performed by all the cells. Third, cells develop from pre-existing cell, Rudolf Virchow. But viruses are exception here. So viruses are not even cell. So what is the shape of virus? Virus are like these, and they have no cytoplasm, no cell organelles, but DNA is suspended in this. No cell organelles, no cytoplasm. So it is all about your history about the cells, and we covered it a lot. So I hope it is cleared to you all. The invention of magnifying glasses led to the discovery of microscope world. It is now known as the single cell consistor. So let me tell you about this. So organisms I think this wala theek hai. Organisms are divided into 2. First is unicellular. Uni and multi. Here it is. Uni and multi. Unicellular, multicellular. Uni means only one, multi means more than one. So let me tell you about it. Uni means single, one. Chlamydomonas paramecium. Chlamydomonas, paramecium and bacteria. These organisms are called unicellular organisms because they are consist only of one cell. So on the other hand, humans, mammals, plants are made up of multi-cells, many cells. So they are considered in the multicellular. So we have learned this very carefully. So now we are going to know about the shape, size of cells are related to the specific functions they perform. Some cells like amoeba have changing shapes. In cases of cell shape could be more or less fixed, peculiar to particular type of cell. For example, nerve cell are typical shape. So in this paragraph told that amoeba is an irregular shaped organism. WBC is also an irregular shaped cell, not organism, cell. And different cells have different shapes according to their functions. Like nerve cell, I hope I have the picture of the nerve cell. Wait a minute, doesn't look at the picture here, so let me tell you about the picture. So here are our pictures of the nerve, blood, sperm, bone, ovum, fat cell. So let us talk about it. Firstly, our favorite nerve cell. So here's the picture of the nerve cell. You can see the nerve cell, function of the nerve cell is to transfer messages. So it has this networked shape. So after nerve cell we have the smooth, very spindle shaped cell. Spindle shaped cell. What happened? Yes, spindle shaped cell, which is smooth muscle cells. It is spindle shaped. After spindle shaped, we have this blood cells, which are disc shaped. Ovum, larger cell, bone cell, sperm, and this fat cell. So different cells have different shapes according to their functions. Each living cell has the capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristic of all living forms. How does a living cell perform these basic functions? We know that there is a division in a labor in multicellular organisms such as human beings. This means a different part of body perform different functions. So in this paragraph told that, let me tell you about all the summary of this paragraph because we have less time left. So let me tell you, first thing here is listed the different cells have different functions, mostly in multicellular organism. Multicellular organism have different cells to perform different functions. Heart cells to pump the blood, digestive cells to digest the food, excretory cells to excrete the waste, like that. But in unicellular organisms like amoeba, only one cell is seen here, and this one cell does all the functions that are needed for that simple cell. So I hope it is clear. I am not telling you in a brief, but I am telling you about the summary of this paragraph. And one more thing is listed here, that each cell have different cell organelles such as nucleus, Golgi apparatus, mitochondrion, vacuoles, and different. We are going to read it ahead. So be there with me at the end of the chapter 2. And after the end of the chapter, we are going to solve the exercises also. And I am preparing for you a live class for solving the questions, MCQs based questions. So there will be many questions and you have to come. So let us start with our what are the cells made up of. We saw above that the cell has special components called organelles. How is cell organized? If we study a cell under a microscope, would come across three features almost. Every cell of plasma membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, all activities under cell and interactions of the cell and its environment are possible due to these features. Let us see how. So every means every. Every cell have these three components. Let me tell you which are these. Which components are these? First is your plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. What is the plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is your cell membrane. Cell membrane. After the cell membrane, we have nucleus, that is the brain of the cell. After nucleus, we have the cytoplasm, the jelly-like substance. So let me tell you about all of them, but you have to wait. So firstly, every cell contains these three components that I am telling you. First, color. First, this is your nucleus. This is cytoplasm. And this is plasma membrane. Okay, so every cell has these three components. So we are going to read about all of them in detail. So we will be reading plasma membrane, cell wall in our next classes. Plasma membrane, cell wall and cytoplasm will be covered in one class, and in this class we are going to know about the nucleus wala topic. Nucleus wala topic we are going to cover in this class. So you have to watch every video to clear your concepts. So let me see how many videos are, like how many pages are there that by which I can complete the chapter at time. So okay, we can cover it. In this video. We are going to read about nucleus. So the pages are loading, so you have to wait for some time. Where is nucleus? Nucleus is a very interesting topic, so you will love it. So in this paragraph, the first activity of this book is shown, so you have to read this activity. I am starting from here with a diagram. So let us start with our nucleus topic. So here we are. The first thing to be noticed here, nucleus is a double layer structure. So it has double layer. Here is the first layer and here is the second layer. The nuclear membrane. These layers are known as nuclear membrane. So I am highlighting it here, nuclear membrane. And these nuclear membrane have small pores on it. Pores that by which the substance can pass from the nucleus outside, and outside can come inside of the nucleus. Pores on it. So inside the nucleus, like the cytoplasm, we have nucleoplasm. Please note it down. We have not cytoplasm, we have nucleoplasm. So nucleoplasm is same jelly like substance for the cell. So I am highlighting it with red color so you can understand this. So red colored is your nucleoplasm. So nucleus also contain chromosomes. So oops, all the diagram vanished. So sorry. Let me draw it again. So sorry for that, everyone. It vanished because of my mistake. So let me draw the pores over here. So yes, in these diagram, in the nucleoplasm, the chromosomes are suspended. So these thread-like things are chromosomes. So these chromosomes carry information for the inheritance of characteristics from parents to the next child. In this we have nucleolus. Nucleolus contains RNA and DNA. So let me draw the DNA also. DNA, full form of the DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. So I hope you can able to see the DNA. So here is your DNA. So DNA is like this, and each segment is known as gene. This is known as genes. So I hope the DNA, RNA is ribonucleic acid. DNA is like clear to you all. Nucleus plays a central role in our cellular reproduction. So let me tell you about this paragraph also. So nucleus plays a very important role in cellular reproduction. The nucleus is, I am already told you that the nucleus is the brain of the cell, and when the cell have to divide it, the nucleus tell the centrosome to get divided. So nucleus plays a very important role in the cell division. In some organisms like bacteria, so I am telling you in this diagram only, because if you understand this diagram, you are understanding this. So sorry, you are understandable with the topic that is covered in this paragraph. So first thing in this picture is cell wall. Bacteria have cell wall, nucleoid, plasma membrane, and this is your cytoplasm. Sorry, it is not written here. Let me write cytoplasm. Yes, cytoplasm. So you can see all the informations are suspended here like this. So this is known as nucleoid, and these type of cells in which the information RNA DNA is suspended like this, these type of organisms are known as prokaryotes. Pro means primitive, karyotes means cells. Primitive nucleus, primitive. If any like cell have a nuclear membrane in which the information is stored, it is known as eukaryote. U means true. U means true. U means true. Karyote means nucleus. So I hope that you understand it well. The chlorophyll in photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria is associated with the membranous vesicles. So sorry, but with the plastids as in nuclear eukaryotic cells. So if does a bacterium does photosynthesis, it contain chlorophyll, which is your plastid. So I hope all of you that you enjoyed this video. So if you all enjoyed this video, give a big like, and if you are new to channel, please subscribe. So I will meet you in the next one. Thank you and bye bye. Stay home, stay safe.